granniopteryx, she knows the truth, she's linking every link.
I found a story here that seems, I mean, just incredible, and this is Yorkshire too. It's almost unbelievable. Geoffrey Boycott is writing here that he was supposed to address a dinner, I suppose, at Scarborough Cricket Club, held their annual festival dinner. Unfortunately, I spent the day in hospital, and Philip, that is Philip Hodgson, stood in for me as Master of Ceremonies. And apparently Geoffrey Boycott came out of hospital in time to listen to the after-dinner speeches. Philip Hodgson told a few jokes during the speech. I mean, that's what after-dinner speakers are supposed to do. And out of the 200 people, 2 complained to the Yorkshire Cricket Board and they suspended him. The ECB, the England and Wales Cricket Board, held an investigation and then apparently after 2 informal board discussions, Philip was told the vote on the board went 4-2 against him for a couple of jokes. They weren't even off-colour jokes. I mean, you know how I usually warn you when I'm about to say something off-colour or whatever, because I don't feel like there are some things I should be saying, although sometimes I have to. And I have absolutely no problem with retelling you either of these jokes, so I'm going to tell them to you and you tell me what you think of them. The first section was, I apologise for looking so tired, but this is my 3rd dinner in as many days. On Sunday I was at Halifax speaking to the local Hemorrhoid Society, where incidentally I received a standing ovation. Right? The next bit he says, and on Monday I was in Hull as a guest of the Gay Liberation Front, and I must say it's gratifying to see so many friendly and familiar faces here tonight. Right, the next thing he said was, everybody's getting their awards and they've all sold 3 Bibles, 4 Bibles and 5 Bibles. But this chap sold 305 and you ask him, how did you sell 305? And at that stage he starts to stutter. Well, I go and knock on the door. The lady comes to the door and I say, would you like to buy a Bible, or would you like me to stand here and read it to you? Okay, it's joking about stuttering. Stuttering jokes have been a very common thing. In fact, do you remember that film, My Cousin Vinny? One of the big set pieces of that whole film was one of the defending lawyers stuttering in front of the judge and the jury. Don't you remember that? I mean, okay, I know it's very unpleasant having a stutter, but it can be very funny as well, and we can't ignore it. There is nothing there that what was his name? There, I stuttered there as well. Philip Hodgson. There is nothing there that I could dream anyone could suspend a person for, on the grounds of bad behaviour of any sort. It's absolutely ludicrous. The first statement Yorkshire made was, we're proud to be a diverse and inclusive organisation. When anybody says that their organisation is diverse and inclusive, you can be absolutely sure that it is neither. And expect everyone associated with the club to represent the club's values. And then Boycott says, what sanctimonious claptrap. Yorkshire County Cricket Club are not an organisation. They are a cricket club. It goes without saying that we who love Yorkshire cricket expect anyone and everyone to be treated equally and fairly. You should not have to keep ramming it down our throats that we are an inclusive and diverse club. That seems to be all they think about. It isn't. It isn't all they think about. It's about policing speech. 2 people raised an issue about this. 2 people out of 200. And 2 people who are, well, don't you guys in America call them blue noses? They just like to be holier than thou. And they like to tell... Look, I want to tell you, I know how this feels because I've told you before, I had a really terrible mother. And she was constantly preening herself. She'd say, look how I look and look how you look. You're rubbish. You know, she was doing that to me all the time. And that's what these people are doing. That's why I recognise it. Perhaps that's why I'm so outraged by it. There are people who like to show off their moral purity by picking on anything they can find that somebody else is doing. So what else is there? Yeah, so... Boycott says without Philip, there aren't enough individuals with cricket knowledge. No, that's neither here nor there. Although, obviously, Yorkshire cricket are shooting themselves in the foot. No, that's not it. What's happened is that there is people who just want to show how, virtuous they are. They make a fuss about some very harmless jokes, and then the cricket board goes into a flat panic because they're diverse and inclusive, and they don't know where diversity, inclusion ends and common sense begins. Anyway, yeah, that's it. I'm very angry. I'm angry because Yorkshire cricket has been damaged, and I'm angry because my county, Yorkshire, were the most sensible people in the entire British Isles, and look what's happened to them now. It's just awful. Okay, till next time. You can help my channel by subscribing and clicking the notification bell. That's quite important. And by sharing if you're so inclined. Links to my other channels and to donation methods are in the description. But the best way you can help is simply by clicking like and notify. Thank you.